he should happen to get through the first relatively unscathed. He'll probably come back and give you a second inning.
Well, let's certainly hope so. And you know what? Hopefully that bullpen does embrace it, because they've got to go up against a tough starter in Texas, Lance Lynn. And Tyler Clippard's going to be our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher tonight. You know, 2.88 ERA in his 40 2/3 innings, allowed just 29 hits, and he has 40 strikeouts.
Let's have a look at the lineup for Texas. Fairly similar to what they ran out there in game one. Chu leading off. He'll DH, though, not playing in the field. Santana, Andrus, Mazara. Then Willie Calhoun in for Hunter Pence in that 5-hole. He'll be in left field. Rougned Odor will bat 6th. Scott Heineman starts in center field. He'll bat 7th. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa getting the start at third base, batting 8th. And Jeff Mathis will catch and hit 9th.
And a different look defensively for the Tribe, brought to you by Conrad's. Naquin in left, Allen in center. Reyes gets the start over in right. On the infield, it's Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis at second, Santana at first, with Plawecki doing the catching.
Umpires Chris Guccione will call the balls and the strikes. Brian Honora, the crew chief, at first. Mark Ripperger at second. John Libka down at third. Essentially what the umpires do in a case of a doubleheader is whoever gets the plate only works one game. Thus they get the fill-in umpire to come up and kind of help out. That's John Libka today. All right, we're underway as Shin-Soo Choo took a mighty swing, came up empty against Tyler Clippard.
You know, that's the greatest thing, as we talked about earlier, that traditional doubleheader. It seems like we never left game one. We're coming right back. We're going to make it an 18-inning affair.
Einstein's theory of relativity is never more true than in between games of a doubleheader. Because if you don't have anything to do, that half an hour can probably seem like it drags on and takes forever. But for us, it felt like 30 seconds rather than 30 minutes.
Yeah, we could have used a little more, but it's A-okay.
79 degrees at game time for game 2. That's up 4 degrees from 1 o'clock this afternoon when we began. Just ideal conditions, though, after a rainy night and a rainy morning. 2-1 offering. Choo takes up and away. 3 balls and a strike. Now the 3-1 offering. And he popped him up, but it's foul and out of play. Tyler Clippard was a guy that, you know, came over to the Indians in spring training. And I think Tito knew right away this is a guy he wanted to have on the ball club. 3-2 pitch. Checked his swing foul. Because he's a veteran, because he'll take the role that you give him and he'll run with it. He'll make the most of it. You know, he's also going to help out any of the younger pitchers. The good teammate moniker came with Clippard. But he did have an issue in spring training, which was health. He had a strain in his chest, so that took him, kind of knocked him back a little bit. But boy, once he got here and started pitching, he's been able to eat up a lot of innings. This is foul. Is it playable? Ramirez makes a great play because he was running out of room in a hurry. Nice job by Ramirez to pull it in for out number 1.
Yeah, he took his last step and he's playing. You know, he's not even in your picture. Now all of a sudden, I thought he was going to have to maybe slide over here to try and get it, but he made that one last step and he was able to get it. Caught up to it nicely. Out number 1. He's gassed.
Posey saying, it's all in a day's work, boys. Here's Danny Santana. 1 for 8 in the series. Has punched out 5 times.
And left-handers on the year have not had a whole lot of luck against Tyler Clippard. And now they are 7 for 65. That's about a 109 average. We're a little below.
Deep left field. Back goes Naquin. Still going back on the track and makes the catch. And that is out number 2.
Well, Naquin took his eye off the ball, looked at the fence. He feels he's on the track now and realizes he has room before he gets to the wall.
So with 2 gone, Elvis Andrus to the plate. Fastball strike outside corner. Tyler Clippard pitched in 73 games last year for Toronto and had a 3.67 earned run average. The year before that, he pitched in 67 games with the Yankees, White Sox, and Astros. And in 16, he pitched in 69 games. So this is a guy that, I mean, it seems like year in and year out, he's able to give you 60 plus 70 appearances.
That's another reason why a manager's got to love him, because you know what you're going to get for the most part, if healthy.
Back out of play. Right field, slicing toward the line, and Reyes won't be able to get near that as it pops into the seats. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. Tyler Clippard. Signed with the New York Yankees back in 2003 out of high school. A bit high, 2-2.
Yeah, the show fastball right there. Andrus was not biting.
Routine bouncer to Lindor. And the Rangers go 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat.
Base hit for Christian Yelich. Deep down the right field line and gone.
And Yelich comes through again.
It's a cycle for Christian Yelich.
2-0 pitch. Swinging. There it is. Here comes Ausmus to start it tied. Mitch wants to make it a double. He didn't get the trademark, but he did get 3,000 hits.
The throw misses a cutoff man, shot into the plate, and the play, Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop.
Cespedes on the move, he's not going to get it. And it rolls off the side wall, and they're going to wave home Kendrick. The throw to the plate is there, and they got it. Are you kidding me? Wow.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. The second no-hitter in his young career.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a hard hit ball inside third, base hit down the left field line. Mazzara gets to third. Adrian going to second. He's got a double for 3,000.
Lance Lynn is our Hyundai starting pitcher for tonight, or this afternoon, and I'll tell you what, he's having a nice year. 14-6 record, 371. He's 8th in the league in strikeouts with 170, 5th with innings pitched at 148, and he's pitched very well. He's 3-0 in his career against the Indians.
Here's Terry Francona starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Francisco Lindor leading it off, followed by Tyler Naquin, then Carlos Santana. Yasiel Puig DHing. Jose Ramirez, the big 2-run homer in Game 1 of the double dip. Jason Kipnis is batting 6th. Then Franmil Reyes, Greg Allen, and Kevin Plawecki. Lindor 0 for 8 in the series. Takes outside ball 1. When a guy is 14-6 and a 3.71 ERA, you know you've got your work cut out for you. But is there anything specifically that you can think of as a hitter that you would want to try to expose or attack against Lynn?
Try to get his fastball down a little bit. He's not afraid to throw the high fastball, but he's only given up 13 home runs. The last time he pitched against the Indians back in June on the 17th, he had only allowed, I think, about 5 home runs at that point in time, and that's pitching in that ballpark at Texas. Hope to get a couple guys aboard and maybe hit one.
My apologies. Ty Van Berkeley said they see 80% of fastballs one way or the other for Lynn. He will be aggressive with those, but he said also if you over-aggressive against the fastball, he will throw a changeup to put you away, especially a lefties. And he's got a good cutter as well, but everything for the most part hard, and that's what they're going to look for going early.
Yeah, he's always been primarily, when he was with the Cardinals and everything, a fastball pitcher. He'd throw as many as anybody in the game.
Just missed outside. Well, Lindor has worked the count full. Hammered right field, deep. Mazara back and runs it down on the warning track. He was already playing deep, which enabled to get back in time. Storylines brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Lance Lynn, we've talked about it, the fastball. And Jose Ramirez, since the calendar turned to July, he's hit 10 home runs. Runs and hits were tough to come by earlier today.
It was the 2-run homer by Ramirez that the only runs in the ball game. So each team has been shut out in the first 2 games of this series. The Indians 1-0 in Game 1, and they return the favor to Texas 2-0 in Game 2. That was the 12th shutout for Indians pitchers on the year, which is the most.
Arch, Matt, can we get our crack staff to figure out the last time here at Progressive Field 3 runs scored in the first 2 games of the series?
You got to see if Tommy said he's having a cup of coffee. He's got to get geared up.
Tommy can't give me that. I mean, think about that. Only 3 runs scored in his first 2 games against these 2 teams are both pretty good offenses.
You don't see many shutouts consecutively. Swing and a miss up the ladder. That's the pitch you're talking about, Lance Lynn,
exactly.
The high fastball.
Yes, it is. That's a lethal pitch. And you know what? He used to do it before a lot of these pitchers are doing it now, where, you know, a lot of them throw that, you know, to change the eye level, throw it above the strike zone to try and get the swing and miss. He's been doing it for a long time. You have to really concentrate on making him get that fastball down into the strike zone. There it was. He got one to hit.
2 down.
Let's check out the Rangers defense behind Lynn. This afternoon, Calhoun is in left, Heineman is in center, Mazzara over in right, Kiner Kalefa is over at third, Andrus at short, Odor at second, Santana at first, Mathis doing the catching.
You mentioned during game one, the Indians were closing in on their 12th shutout of the year. That's tied for the most in the big leagues with the Dodgers.
Well, the Indians have been doing that for a few years. I think they had 17 last year. And that is impressive. You know, on the other side, the Rangers on Monday, they got their 5th shutout of the year. And they've been shut out for the 3rd time. But the Indians have been shut out 10 times this year.
Lance Lynn with a 2-1 pitch. And that was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Okay, for example, 15 pitches in this inning for Lynn. They have all been fastballs. You don't see that too much
That's
anymore.
the old way of pitching.
Yeah, you don't see that.
The heater. And he just blew it right by him. So the Indians go 1-2-3, and we are scoreless after 1.
Deep to left field. This ball high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome. Welcome to the 600 Club. Very nice, Jim Thome.
Well, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside.
That was Curtis Jackson. I don't even like when he comes around. You know, I don't even want him around here. 50 Cent is the best.
Here's a ground ball right side. Could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history. And building to this moment, world champions.
Looking for hit number 1 from Franchy Cordero.
He struck him out. The Dodgers have thrown a combined no-hitter.
And on the 13th and final strikeout of the game.
Malone looking for his first hit of the year.
He drives one. Deep left field. That goes Upton. Back near the wall. It's out of here. Bartolo has done it. The impossible has happened.
Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3, it's over. The Red Sox have won the World Championship. They win the World Series, 4-1. Can you believe it?
He's just keeping the ball away from Bohr the whole game. He wants to get it.
There, ball.
Behind the back flip, and he got him. Oh, wow.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand with MLB TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to stream live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB TV for the details.
Tyler Clippard goes to work here in the 2nd. He's got Nomar Mazara leading it off. A little bit low, ball 1. That caught the bottom of the zone. That's a slow breaking ball in there for a strike. And he went chasing. Up out of the strike zone. He saw that fastball coming out of his hand and he wanted to get on it, but he couldn't get up to it.
Well, it is amazing. You're thinking, how can you swing it that well? His slow stuff is, it is like Bugs Bunny. It's slowed down so much, but then you see the fastball coming out of his hand and you say, I'm going to hit that. But that one wasn't even close. It's almost like he wanted to swing before he even let it go.
Clippard rocks into his windup.
Nice
curveball.
Yes, indeed. To go with that changeup, an occasional show-me fastball.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Boy, he was way out in front of that one. And there are two down here in the second.
This is going to be the split. Look at the grip and watch the ball go south. Like we say, it looks like almost the rotation on it is not there. It's a little more spin than a knuckleball, but he really spreads the fingers to throw that true splitter.
And Rougned Odor to the plate. With two down here in the second inning. Odor, 20 homers, 20 doubles. He's driven in 64. And it's 0-2. Off the plate. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Clippard got him to go fish. Tyler Clippard, two really impressive innings out of the chute here today. He strikes out the side in inning number 2, and we have no score.
That is absolutely clobbered. Good gosh, where is that going to land? Oh my, what a bomb! Testing the limits of Safeco Field.
And he swings and drives one left center field deep. Hernandez back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run, Steve Pearce.
High fly ball into left. Back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce?
Line drive back up the middle, base hit for Christian Yelich. Deep down the right field line and gone.
And Yelich comes through again.
It's a cycle for Christian Yelich.
Seattle Mariners, Felix Hernandez, the 2-2. He got him! It's finally happened! A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner! It was done by the King!
Boggle, my goodness.
Ichiro to right and deep. Back goes Parra, and it's off the wall. 3,000 is in right field, and Ichiro is racing for third. And he's done it.
2-0 pitch. Swinging. There it is. Here comes Ausmus. The start and tie. Mitch went to make it a double. He didn't get the trademark, but he did get Fried.
Something that Yasiel Puig has never really had much of an opportunity to do. Be a DH.
True.
I'll have to give a quick look-see if he ever had a chance to DH in maybe an inter-league game.
I would think maybe a game or so. Well, he gets the second game in that spot, and I'm thinking Tito probably wants to give Reyes an opportunity to go play the field and take his mind off of DHing.
Puig swings through a good fastball, 95 miles an hour.
Well, there's no mystery here with Lance Lynn on the mound. I remember the guys were saying that it was tough to pick up when he was pitching against them in Texas. Andre, do you remember that? They were saying it seemed like he was right on top of you down there in Texas.
Yes, they said in Texas it felt like he was on top, and where the ball comes from, it felt like it came from the arm right to the plate. And now you're going to have shadows here with this start time.
Oh, yeah. Well, we knew it wasn't going to be easy.
No.
3 straight strikeouts for Lynn.
Great clip of the game from earlier today. Jose Ramirez, his 15th home run of the year, and this was a 2-run shot, the only runs of the game. And that home run did not come until the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, I was looking a little shaky there for a while. They only had 3 hits. Thank goodness one left the yard.
There's another drive. Deep right field, stay fair, and it is gone. Deep into the lower deck. Oh, baby. Home run number 16 for Ramirez.
Someone's getting hot. And I'll tell you what, that landed in about the same spot as the first one did in game 1. Another high fastball, and Ramirez is picking up the tempo. Spectra Mobile replay. This fastball down a little bit. It was about belled high. But it goes away, so the Indians 1-0 on Ramirez again. He gets his 16th homer. And just the 14th allowed by Lynn. And out of his 14 homers, 12 have been solo shots.
Getting us down swinging. Up and away at that fastball. 4th K for Lance Lynn. Well, it's only 1 run. But for whatever this is worth, the Indians are 12-2. No, that's not right. Because those numbers don't add up. I guess he had a multiple home run game, right? Yeah, so they're 12-2 when he hits a home run this year. But just think about that, 11 of his 16 home runs just since July 1st.
Yeah, we talked about it. He can, as cold as he was earlier, he could get just as hot and stay that way for a couple of months.
Well, Jose gets the Indians the early lead. His 16th home run of the year. here in the second inning, and it's 1-0 Cleveland.
Now a 3-1 for Acuna. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep to left field. Way back. It's gone! The grandest of all home runs.
Yelich knocks one to the gap in right center. This could be the one. He's going to be held to a double. He's trying for 3. He's going to do it. Get down. He's in there.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. The second no-hitter in his young career.
In the air to deep left field for Tatis Jr. His first home run in the majors is a 2-run blast. There's contact, and then there's that.
2 on, 2 out. 10th inning. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher. Throw by Ethier. Astros win it in 10.
This one's hit a long way again. That's number 30. Where will this one land? Come close again. Are you kidding me? Those aren't just home runs. Those are moonshots.
And the pitch on the way. Bodie drives one in the air. Deep center field. Back goes Taylor. It's got a chance. It's a grand slam. A grand slam for David Bodie.
1-0 Indians on top. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Hunter Wood. Wood on to face the bottom third of the Rangers order. Right-handed hitters Scott Heineman, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Jeff Mathis due up.
Nice job by Tyler Clippard.
Boy, oh boy.
First 2 innings, 3 strikeouts. Struck out the side in inning number 2, so I said it would be a bullpen game. Here we go. We don't see it often because the Tribe has excellent starters.
Scott Heineman will lead it off. He's just 2 for 7 since getting called up. And he throws a fastball by Heineman. Hunter Wood came over from Tampa in a trade just before the deadline on July 28th. Pitched a scoreless inning, struck out a pair in the series opener. Two-one pitch. Tito could have, say Clippard had pitched too much and maybe wasn't available. He could have gone to Hunter Wood because he made a pair of opening starts for Tampa. Something the Rays do with a little more frequency.
Boy, do they ever.
Right field. Franmil Reyes makes the catch. 1 away. The injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. This was a tough blow for the Rangers. 22 homers, 49 runs batted in. And Joey Gallo. Is he done for the year? I can't remember what the
hamate bone.
Yeah,
surgery.
The fractured hook. That's that hamate bone.
Yeah, when you lose the big power. He was having a nice year, settling in nicely. He was playing the outfield, played some center field with a very good arm. He was cutting down on the strikeouts. That's a big bat to lose in that offense.
That's one of those injuries, too, that there for a while, and I'm talking like 20 years ago, seemed to be happening with a lot of frequency. But I wonder if maybe the bat manufacturers worked with players to try and alleviate some of the issues, because a lot of that injury at times was directly attributed to how players would hold the bottom of the bat across the middle of their hand.
Right.
And it would just press on that and crack it.
Maybe the bat's a little lighter now, too, than what they used to be 20 years ago. But you're right. They come out with different styles on the bottom part of that bat.
Oh, Andre's shown us the fire handle.
The axe handle. Yeah.
Fire handle.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, when all those guys get hurt, that is the bat that they go to, Matt.
Fire, axe, it's all related.
Yeah, axe. We knew where you were going with it. The second, but you're right. A lot of these bat manufacturers realize that that's a problem. I'm sure they've done that, but when they do get a hand injury, they all go to that axe bat afterwards.
Good pitch, just missed outside. Jeff Mathis, the Rangers catcher, went 1 for 3 with a double in the series opener on Monday night. Right back up the middle, but look who's there. Jason Kipnis with a nifty backhand. And the Rangers go 1-2-3. Midway through the third, no score. Or excuse me, 1-0 Cleveland.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history. And building to this moment, world champions. Muncy flies one in the air to left center. Back at the wall, and it's gone! It's over! A walk-off home run to win Game 3.
Out on the run is Liriano, and he makes the catch. An amazing catch. Sails a throw back to first base, and this is in time on the fly from Ramon Liriano.
Robinson Cano in his Mets debut. Sox one out to center. Back goes Robles into the gap to the warning track at the wall, and it's out of here. Robinson Cano goes deep in his first at bat as a New York Met.
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome. Welcome to the 600 Club. Very nice, Jim Thome.
He's just keeping the ball away from Bohr the whole game. He wants to get it.
There, ball behind the back flip, and he got him. Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
The fans are on their feet.
Now the only man in between Paxton and the history.
Well, join us here at the ballpark when the Boston Red Sox will come to town for a 3-game series starting on Monday. You can pick up a district ticket presented by Miller Lite starting at $15. You can visit Indians.com for the tickets, or you can use the ballpark app. And that's what we're gone to Minnesota for 4. Come right back and play the Red Sox for 3, and then we head right back out on the road to the Big Apple for a week.
Yeah. Greg Allen will lead off for Cleveland here in the bottom of the third. Indians up 1-0 on the home run by Jose Ramirez. And Lance Lynn with the first pitch strike. Well, speaking of Minnesota, they try to come back again against Atlanta. Miguel Sano hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th off Josh Tomlin to cut the gap to 11-7. And then the Braves finally ended the game. It took 6 pitchers, but the Braves hung on to beat Minnesota 11-7.
Back-to-back 11-7 wins, huh?
Well, I think 12-7 last time.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, same difference.
Yeah.
Did he go? No.
That was one time where we saw Allen point down to the umpire. We've seen hitters do that before. Mathis was coming out behind the plate like he wanted to throw it around the horn, but he said no, he did not.
Ground ball up the middle, and that will get through. Greg Allen with a leadoff single here in the third. Well, this is how things stand at the moment. 2.5 games. So a win here in the second half of the doubleheader would narrow the gap to 2 games on Minnesota going into that 4-game series.
Right.
So
that would be a beautiful thing if that could happen, especially after rain out last night, playing a doubleheader. They got to go. On the road this year, Lance Lynn is 5-5. He is 9-1 at home. And that's not an easy ballpark to pitch in.
Well, I was looking too at Lance Lynn. I mean, first full year as a starter with the Cardinals back in 2012, he won 18 games.
Right.
He's always had a good earned run average, save the 1 year he spent in Minnesota last year. Now, who can figure that one out? Twins are probably thinking, hey, we signed this guy, free agent. He's going to be a big guy in our rotation. And then in 20 games, he went out 7-8 with a 5.10 earned run average. He'd never had an ERA close to that. He'd never been over 4 in his career before that. But obviously, it was just
coming to the American League had anything to do with it, with the DH. It shouldn't, the way he pitches. He's got it together this year.
Yeah, it was just a blip on the radar.
Maybe there's something wrong physically with him last year.
I'll say this. So he missed all of 2016. He had the Tommy John surgery, right?
Right.
And then normally it takes guys to a time to bounce back. He came back the very next year after missing all of 16. 2017, makes 33 starts, 3.43 ERA. Maybe it was the year after.
You have a little, well, yeah, hard to figure out.
How else do you explain it?
Well, Texas went out and signed him, and I believe it was a 3-year, $30 million deal, and that's a steal for this guy, the way he's pitched.
Yeah, because he has that look about him that he's going to be that innings eater, the horse you want at the front of your rotation.
Well, the only American League pitcher the last 18 straight, 6 or more innings, so he's taking you deep into every ball game. And boy, every manager loves that, especially with the way bullpens are nowadays. First year where the bullpen ERA is higher than the starters. You wonder if all the innings and things are starting to catch up to the relievers around baseball.
I think that's got to be part of it.
Yeah. That's why the starters, they can take a load of stress off a bullpen. If you can go out and give them a couple of days off with your starters going into that 7th inning, and you only have maybe 6 outs to navigate your way through. And the one thing with the Rangers, they've played 35 one-run games already. You know, so they're in every game, and you're going to have to go to that bullpen.
Yep.
You know, it's not like you're, and they do score a lot of runs. There's times where they scored 9 or more runs, as much as anybody.
There goes Greg Allen, and it's fouled up the third base side. Yeah, coming into the series, they had scored 9 or more 20 times, which was the 6th most games in baseball this year. So they have the ability to put up the big crooked numbers. Trying to make something happen here at the bottom of the order with Lindor on deck. Greg's got a big lead. And he's off. Pitch is high. Throw down. Did he tag him? Greg said he missed him. He's asking for a reprieve from the dugout. We will see.
Well, if Odor tagged him, he's out. That's plain and simple. And that's going to be a tough one to get overturned unless they obviously can see a lot. Because anything close. Where's the tag? Looked like he got him on the hip. I don't think they'll challenge that. So that'll go as a caught stealing.
Good job by Odor to slap it down quickly. Three-two count. Upstairs, ball 4. And our stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Justin Verlander leading the way in wins in the American League, but Lance Lynn right there behind him. Domingo Germán, Garrett Cole, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Matt Arch, I'm curious, with Lance Lynn, you said something, Arch, earlier that struck me. You talked about how he's old school and uses the fastball. Why do you think he's so successful doing that when we see so many pitchers in baseball relying on their off speed so much?
Everybody's into the spin rate and to the breaking ball. There's the guy proven. Look at, he can locate it. It gets on you, but Andre, I haven't seen him. Maybe he threw one cutter I saw to Kipnis, and I don't know, just a lot of fastballs. He moves it around, and it's hard to say. He's not afraid to use it.
And you would think, and there's so many guys that throw hard, you would think some guys would see this and say, I could do this too.
Well, you're right. And I think a lot of times when you go into good hitting teams, I think veteran teams, and we're going to head into one over the weekend, they sit on breaking balls when they get to 2 strikes sometimes and guys on base. I don't know. I think a lot of people like to just throw breaking balls a lot more than they do fastballs nowadays. Sometimes a pitcher will give up a hit on his fastball early in the game and, you know, sort of shy away from it instead of trying to make it, you know, just execute it with a little. There was an off speeder, a cutter. That was the cutter inside, and that's what you do with it. You speed up his bat. That was a 91-mile-an-hour pitch, where Lynn's usually up at about 95. Now watch this come into the hands of Frankie, and for him to hit it hard, he's going to have to pull it foul. He started it right on that plate or in, and it's going to keep bearing in on his hands. So when you do throw something like that, just you have to execute it like any pitcher would have to.
He has said before that if he wasn't a major league pitcher, he'd be a UPS driver.
He knows that, huh?
Which kind of tells you about the personality, though. This is not a guy that wants to be fancy and try to trick you. He's kind of old school, bare bones. Hey, let's go. We're just going to go knock down, drag out fight here. I think that sometimes personality comes into play as to why you throw pitches in certain situations.
That's funny, Matt. I worked for UPS in college.
Why is that funny?
Because it didn't work for me.
Well, that's because you kept throwing your curveball. Throw your heater, man.
Sorry,
we're
UPS.
trying to teach you.
I wasn't that type of guy.
I'm going to bring it to your door.
Well, this is what Lance Lynn does with his pitches. 67% straight fastballs, 16% the cutter, and then the curve and a changeup.
You know, you rarely see that number up there at 67% for a pitcher with his fastball. Last year, I mean, with Bieber, we saw it around 50, maybe a little bit over 50, 55, 56, but that's changed this year. You know, that's, Andre, remember that question, because that's a good one to ask pitchers down, you know, in the Indian side when you get an opportunity or they're talking pitching with you.
I definitely will.
Tyler Naquin struck out on a good fastball his first time up. I wonder if facing a pitcher that features more fastballs than you're used to seeing maybe takes a hitter a timer through the lineup to realize, hey, he's not going to try to trick you up there. You got to sit for that fastball and get ready to get after it.
Well, yes, but what you have to do when you're getting to face the guy with a good fastball, make him get it down into your hitting area, because he's got enough to get on it to get by you upstairs.
Naquin sends one to left, right into the tracks of Willie Calhoun. And there are 2 down. Now, I'm not so sure Carlos Santana swung at a strike his first time up. Lynn really had the fastball moving away, and Santana might have helped him out, which is rare because he's usually one of the more disciplined hitters.
Right. Well, after the leadoff single, Allen was thrown out by Mathis on a caught stealing. Then back-to-back walks have given him a chance. So that's what you want to do. Try and make him pay when he gives you free base runners.
All the way to the backstop.
Baby.
And they'll both move up. Plawecki to third, and Lindor to second.
Well, that wild pitch, that's number 12 for Lynn. He's thrown a lot of them. And we'll see what he does here with first base open. He yanked this fastball by Mathis. He really wanted to throw a dart on the inside part of the plate, but he pulled it. Guys will move up second and third now. Now this will be up to Lynn. What's he want to do here with Santana? And you have Puig in the on-deck circle, the right-handed hitter, who he was able to strike out. He struck out Santana in his first time, and he also got Puig. So curious to see how he goes about this. See, these are good situations when you're sitting on the bench and you're saying, okay, second and third, there's 2 outs. I want to see with first base open how he goes at it. You know, what's he throwing? Obviously, you're going to see a lot of fastballs, but again, he's trying to run that one away to Santana. And he's has the count in his favor right now.
Yeah, and behind in the count, will he even go at him? Yeah, he did.
Cutter. 2-0 Cutter. Which is okay. Santana just spits on it. And I'll tell you, we got to get him early now because the shadows are starting to come in.
Upstairs with a cutter, 2-2. Or excuse me, 3-1. 3-1 for Santana. And again with first base open.
I think Woodward just trusts him. He knows he's a veteran. He knows what to do in a situation like this. That's why he's not saying a word.
And that's outside ball 4. He was going to make him hit his pitch.
Exactly. See, he was willing to load the bases with a walk. But now he knows he's got to come back and make some really good pitches here to Puig if he wants to get out of the inning without any more damage.
Tells you a lot about his confidence because he'd already walked 2 in the inning. Usually, the last thing a pitcher wants to do is walk the bases loaded, which he has done. But that just tells you he's not really concerned about the guys he walked earlier in the inning.
He knows what he has to do. Yes, you're right. And now he's got to be aggressive here. He worked over Puig really easy in the second inning.
Well, they went out and had a conversation.
Well, and I'm sure Mathis knows exactly what he's thinking in this at-bat, what he wants to do with that conversation going on.
Well, if it's a first pitch fastball and it's hittable, I wouldn't expect Puig to be watching.
Helped him out. Elevation. See, he came right back with an excellent pitch. A fastball top of the zone and away. Really hard to get on top of. He knows Puig likes that ball down in his zone. That's about mid-thigh. And I don't expect him to go down any lower than what he just did.
97
reached back for a little extra giddy up on that too. That you have there. You see the base runners, but now Puig in trouble, down 0-2.
But that tells you too about the veteran mindset of a pitcher like Lance Lynn. He wasn't afraid of those walks because he knows he can still attack with his fastball, and he gets ahead of Puig quickly. Now he's got to trust Mathis if he wants to bounce one. Or he goes right back up the ladder again.
Climb the ladder, go a little higher. Slowed it down. He did slide. He threw him a slider, and that pitch was down a little bit. 6 pitches Puig has seen. He has 4 swings and misses.
Here's the 0-2. Fouled off to the right. So he's gone off, or gone at him with some either cutter or sliders after he got ahead of him 0-2. Inside with a fastball just to back him up.
Well, just to keep him honest. Yes, indeed. He did a little two-seamer there to run inside. Didn't really want to throw him a strike in that at-bat. And that pitch. He came out early and got the first two four-seam fastballs up there for 2 strikes.
Tell you what, they're making him work. This is the 30th pitch of the inning. But he's able to elevate the fastball and strike him out. 5 Ks for Lance Lynn after 3. 1-0 Cleveland.
Pitch, swinging, there it is. Here comes Ausmus. The started Kine. Mitch went to make it a double. He didn't get the trademark, but he did get 3,000 hits.
Well, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside.
That was Curtis Jackson. I don't even like when he comes around. I don't even want him around here. 50 Cent is the best.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. The second no-hitter in his young career.
Out on the run is Liriano, and he makes the catch. An amazing catch. Sails a throw back to first base, and this is in time on the fly from Ramon Liriano.
And they're going to wave him around. The throw misses a cutoff man. Shot into the plate. And the play, Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop.
Looking for hit number 1 from Franchy Cordero.
He struck him out. The Dodgers have thrown a combined no-hitter.
And on the 13th and final strikeout of the game.
1-0 looking for a fastball.
In the air, right center field. The first one in the Phillies uniform is a bomb into the second deck for Bryce.
Well, there will be a special Dollar Dog night next Tuesday right here at Progressive Field for Game 2 of the 3-game series against the Red Sox. Visit Indians.com for your tickets, or you can use the Ballpark app.
Fourth inning, 1-0 Cleveland. Shin-Soo Choo, Danny Santana, and Elvis Andrus due up for Texas. Hunter Wood stays on for a second inning of relief. He worked a 1-2-3 third. Tyler Clippard pitched the first 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down, struck out 3. Fastball, top of the zone. Good curveball, but just missed. That's in the dirt. Hunter Wood was drafted by Tampa Bay in the 29th round 6 years ago out of junior college in Texas. Big bouncer, and with the shift on, nobody home. First hit of the game for the Rangers.
and first hit in the series for Shin-Soo Choo, who was 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts going into that at bat. T-Mobile connection to the game. Baltimore Orioles can't wait to say goodbye to the New York Yankees. They have just abused them in their own ballpark this year.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? 38 homers in 8 games at Camden Yards. It's like batting practice. And I mean, they didn't just shoot by it, they by a mile.
Not sure if there's any truth to the rumor the Yankees are petitioning Major League Baseball to host playoff games at Camden Yards.
Yeah, that's right. They wanted to change venues.
Man.
And they have their last and final game at Baltimore tonight, starting at 7 o'clock.
The Yankees have won 7 in a row, which is the longest current win streak in baseball. Swing and a miss by Danny Santana. Oh-2 pitch, and he just spoiled it.
Emergency hack.
And Santana fights another one off.
Boy, he'll go down, fouled it off, went climbed the ladder, fouled it off. He's smiling about it, but that one's out of the zone. It goes from shoulder to toes.
One and two for the count for Danny Santana. Out in LA, Jack Flaherty is spinning a 4-hit shutout of the Dodgers through 7. Cardinals lead it 1-0 on a Marcell Ozuna home run. Off of the pitcher Wood.
Oh boy,
Kipnis
what a break.
to Lindor, back to Santana. He can't quite scoop it.
Over, yeah.
Oh boy.
And that's going to send the runner to second base.
That's too bad. They had a chance for a double play on the deflection. Santana couldn't pick it at first base, and it hits that railing over there in front of the camera bay, hits the top pad and trickles in, and that'll be an error on Lindor on the throw over there. You see, he didn't get his feet underneath him, knowing he had to get rid of it quickly. Couldn't get much on the throw.
Didn't look like it was that difficult of a hop for Santana, though.
No, it didn't. But he couldn't hold on to it. And why? It just goes in. It'll be an error.
So the bad news is Elvis Andrus is at the plate with a runner in scoring position now.
Hello.
Andrus got a high fastball, upset as it's fouled straight back.
Yeah, he's having a conversation with himself right there. That's a pitch he likes, that he normally hits, but he fouled it straight back. So don't put another one there.
low and away, 1-2. Well, the Indians won the opener of the doubleheader 2-0. They lead this game 1-0. But elsewhere, there have been some runs scored today. The Cubs beat Oakland at Wrigley 10-1. The Astros thumped the Rockies 14-3. Braves outlasted the Twins 11-7. Swing and a miss. Hunter Wood strikes him out. He went up the ladder with a slider. I'm not sure that was the location he was hoping for, but it worked out well.
Yeah, it turned out well. You watch it. There's the slider he's trying to throw. And boy, that's up above the strike zone. And maybe he saw it so well that he had tried to go after it, and he comes up empty. So that's a big out.
Two down. Nomar Mazara struck out his first time up. Looks at a pitch down low. And the curveball misses up high. 2-0. 27 pitches for Hunter Wood, 15 strikes. And Mazara, he went wailing away at it. 2-1.
Was not going to give in and give him the fastball, so he throws him the changeup down in the zone. And he was able to get Mazara to go chase it. It was a ball, but he got after it looking for the heater.
High pop on the infield. Lindor calls for it. Makes the catch. Midway through the fourth, it's still Cleveland 1, Texas nothing.
In the air to deep left field for Tatis Jr. His first home run in the majors is a two-run blast. There's contact, and then there's that.
Yelich knocks one to the gap in right center. This could be the one. He's going to be held to a double. He's trying for three. He's going to do it. Get down. He's in there.
Ichiro to right and deep. Back goes Parra, and it's off the wall. 3,000 is in right field, and Ichiro is racing for third. And he's done it.
And he swings and drives one left center field deep. Hernandez back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run, Steve Pearce.
High fly ball into left. Back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce?
Line drive back up the middle, base hit for Christian Yelich.
Deep down the right field line and gone.
And Yelich comes through again.
It's a cycle for Christian Yelich.
Now a 3-1 for Acuna. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep to left field. Way back. It's gone. The grandest of all home runs.
Jose Ramirez has been all of the offense today. Take a look at both of his home runs on StatCast AI powered by AWS. There was the two-run home run in game one. And here's the solo shot in game two. Very similar. So he's got that home run stroke working. In the meantime, Kind of a slight delay in the action. The home plate umpire, Chris Guccione, had to leave the ball game.
Well, he took a foul ball in the first or second inning on the face mask. I believe it was the second inning. I think right now they're going through a concussion protocol. They've been giving him liquids in between innings, and I know the Indians training staff came out to check him and bring a water bottle in between this inning, and they just taken him to the back to check. He said he was okay, but I think the other umpires wanted him to go back and make sure he was okay before they continued with the game.
Brian O'Nora is the crew chief on your right. So in the meantime, Lance Lynn had completed his warm-up throws. He was done and ready to go. And so we await word on what we're going to do next.
Bill, you already mentioned it earlier with the umpires. They have an extra umpire here because if you ump a doubleheader, the guy that gets home plate in the first game is usually off. Don't know if that would ever, if he was around, even come back.
Well, they could go short. Could go with a three-man crew here if need be.
Here's what we're talking about right here. Kipnis at bat, and he took that foul ball right off the face mask, the side of it. Watch it, his left side. You're right on your screen, and it pretty good jolt. Yeah, how about that? Ramirez, the only offense for the day in both games.
Let's go down to Andre.
Well, remember we talked about Lance Lynn and all the fastballs. I talked to Shane Bieber between innings about that, and he said, good question. I'm curious as well. But he thinks, just from thinking about it and as we talked about it, he thinks that Lynn does a great job of tunneling all those pitches to come out looking the same, and he uses that two-seamer to keep you off the home plate.
Right.
But then he says the way he uses those three pitches, they all look alike, is what he seems from the hitters. And he thinks when he uses that cutter, it really is more like what probably he uses his slider as. But that's the only thing he has so far on why he thinks Lance Lynn is so good. But after we had that conversation, he said, I got to go check because I'm curious. I want to know how he's so successful with it as well.
Well, it's like what we talk about Corey Kluber or some of the other guys where your arm slot is the same and you've got your ball going different ways. Well, his cutter into the left-handers is out of that same arm slot, but it's in or it's in off the plate. The two-seamer to get it either into the right-handers is very good.
Yes.
You know, so I mean that is something to look at.
And then he uses the fastball up, as you've talked about a lot. And Mike Freeman joined our conversation and says, yeah, the high fastball is what sets him apart because he goes, that changes your eye level, and then you're off balance when he comes back with the two-seamer or four-seamer.
And they feel that the ball's getting on him in a hurry, too. So you don't have much time to really concentrate and make him get that ball down. There's a good fastball. Now you watch some of the different breaks. Up and away. He got Santana on that pitch. That was a ball. That's a ball when he got Puig. Up and away. See, I mean, that wasn't even close. You've got to make him try to get his fastball down. Much easier said than done.
Well, we went through the Puig second at bat. And that was one which Shane and I were kind of watching at the same time. And he did use that two-seamer to get him off the plate.
Yes,
right
he
back,
did.
You know,
after he fouled off a breaking ball. Yes, he ran one inside when it was 0-2.
Well, it sounds like we're going to go with a three-man umpiring crew. And John Lipka went to put the gear on. So he'll take over behind home plate when he gets back. And then Mark Ripperger will be your third base umpire, and Brian O'Nora will go to first, and they'll rotate around to get themselves in the best position to make all the calls. Timeout while we wait for the umpire here in Cleveland. 1-0 Indians.
.949 now in Atlanta, 6:49 in Arizona, and a 2-2 to Perez. Swing and a miss, and Randy Johnson has thrown a perfect game.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a hard hit ball inside third, base hit down the left field line. Mazzara gets to third. Adrian going to second. He's got a double for 3,000.
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome. Welcome to the 600 Club. Very nice, Jim Thome. Here's a ground ball right side. Could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history. And building to this moment, world champions.
Rivera sets and deals. Strike three, ball game over. Yankees win. The greatest closer in history now has the most saves in history.
2 home runs tonight. I'd like to see a hat trick. I don't know about you.
Goldschmidt, high drive, out to left. You bet he's done it! 3 home runs! As they say in life, always be prepared because you never know when your opportunity is going to come. John Lipka, as a fill-in umpire today, working the bases, figuring he was going to work the bases for both games. But now with Chris Guccione headed to the trainer's room to get further evaluation, he's now the home plate umpire.
Yes, rest period is over. I got a kick out watching the Texas players. The infielders were sitting down in the shade of that the light standard out there right in front of second base. Lynn was in the dugout. So they are ready. We are ready to get back into action.
If you just got home or tuned in late, this is game 2 of a doubleheader today. The Indians won game 1 2-0 on a home run by Jose Ramirez. And they lead game 2 1-0 on a home run by Jose Ramirez. He leads off here in the bottom of the 4th. And that pitch up and away, ball 1.
I believe that was going to be that little 2-seamer that he wanted to throw after Jose hit his 4-seamer. Off the end. New bat. And a little splinter come off the end.
Got a birthday wish.
Go ahead, big boy.
Sue Folk.
Oh, yeah.
Of Westlake, Ohio, by way of Blue Island, Illinois.
I got her in the game 1. She didn't hear. She wasn't paying attention. That's okay, though.
Okay. Well, as long as you got it.
You know how I got it? I saw her on the scoreboard.
I got a message from the big guy, so.
Oh, well, then that's a must.
Gotta make sure we get that in there.
Right. So obviously out of town today, huh? In Illinois?
No, that's where she's from. There's a long drive by Ramirez, but this one is out front foul. They've got their souvenir. In the dirt. It is amazing how the first 2 months of the season he would hit ball after ball after ball like that, but he never was able to keep one fair to really do some damage with it. And then all of a sudden, whatever that adjustment was that got him back on time, he's looked like the hitter that we've seen the last several years. That's going to be close play at first. And Brian O'Nora says he's out.
That's the one thing there when you're playing hitters that deep, when you're a second baseman, you have got to make sure, especially when you hustle down the line like Ramirez does, you better get rid of it quickly because he is going to hustle. He didn't hit that ball all that hard, topped it, but good hustle, and they got him by a half a step.
That's going to bring up Jason Kipnis, struck out his first time up today.
The 1-1 and pulled the string on him nicely.
Belongs to birthday wishes. Koki Goswitch of Rocky River is 97. Mary Pushkis of Mayfield, 93. Irene Zach of Broadview Heights turning 92. Janet Mann of Cortland, 89. Happy birthday.
Foul back.
And finishing them up. Art McQuestion of Hartville is 87. Ray Scroben of Strongsville is 86. And Tony Vasquez of Lorraine is 75. Happy birthday to everybody out there today.
Base is empty, one down, 2-2 pitch, inside in the full count. Payoff pitch is popped out of play.
Indians trying to do something in this second game that they haven't done only but once all year long, and that's win the series when you lose game one of a series. They lost game one, rained out.
Down strikes is Kipnis. 6 Ks for Lance Lynn. 2 down here in the 4th. Spectrum Mobile player profile. Nelson Cruz held without a home run today, but whew, last 15 games, how about 13 home runs?
Yeah, you talk about hot since the break.
Well, who was it that we were just talking about? Oh, it was Mike when Mike Trout was here, wasn't it? And we were talking about how many home runs he would need to get to 50.
Yes.
I don't know if Cruz can stay that hot, but in that lineup, can he get close to 45, 50?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Right.
he could, yes. I mean,
he is tunneled in, Arch. I don't know if you saw the home runs he had last night, but
he is right now. Yes,
yeah.
he's locked in. You don't stay like that, though.
Yeah, true.
And he's 39. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah. And he missed, what, I want to say 10 to 15 games about 2 months ago.
He was
as well.
on the IL at one point in time.
I guess I misunderstood you. To get to 40, no, I don't think there's any doubt. To get to 50, you're talking about 18 more homers?
Yeah, he's got his...
Yeah.
That may be tough. I don't know.
Well, remember,
but the way these guys hit him now in bunches, there's a liner to third, and Franmil Reyes still searching for it. Indians go 1-2-3, and after 4 innings, it's 1-0 Cleveland.
Out on the run is Liriano, and he makes the catch! An amazing catch! Sails a throw back to first base, and this is in time on the fly from Ramon Liriano!
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss! He struck him out! Verlander has done it again! The second no-hitter in his young career!
Fly ball out into center. Way out of here.
Oh, Mago, my goodness.
Cespedes on the move. He's not going to get it. And it rolls off the side wall, and they're going to wave home Kendrick, the throw to the plate is there, and they got it. Are you kidding me? Wow.
1-0 looking for a fastball.
In the air, right center field. The first one in the Phillies uniform is a bomb into the second deck for Bryce Harper. The Phils lead it 7-4.
Yelich knocks one to the gap in right center. This could be the one. He's going to be held to a double. He's trying for three. He's going to do it. Get down. He's in there.
Cleveland Indians baseball brought to you by the all-new 2020 Kia Telluride. Give it everything. By the Cleveland Building and Trades Council. Skilled union construction workers building and rebuilding Cleveland since 1913. And by your Chevy Network dealers. Visit clickchevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lights are on. Fifth inning.
And no one's home.
There's a few people here.
I know.
There won't be anybody home tomorrow.
No sirree.
A.J. Cole on for the 25th time this year. Indians lead 1-0. Tribe trying to piece this game together with their bullpen. Tyler Clippard went 2. Hunter Wood went 2. Combining for 1 hit, scoreless relief, striking out 4, no walks. A.J. Cole's had his problems of late. Trying to get things turned around. He has given up 6 runs in his last 9 innings of work. 13 hits. Willie Calhoun leads it off. Swings at the first pitch. Shallow left. Tyler Naquin racing in, can't get there. Drops for a bloop single. Time for a Ganley Subaru game break, and we go to Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Rick just wrapped this one up at Wrigley Field a short time ago. The Cubs big winners today over the Oakland A's. A's were up early 1-0. Then the Cubs scored the next 10. Ian Happ, his second career grand slam. And then it was Kyle Schwarber with a 3-run homer here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That made it 9-1. Caratini a solo shot. 10-1 the final. So the A's, pretty odd team, but cooled off today in Chicago, fellas.
Thanks, Al. Cubs atop the NL Central. But that's been a revolving door of late. St. Louis had lost 4 straight heading into play today to drop 2.5 back. And the last check, they were leading 1-0 over the Dodgers. But that's could be a tall order trying to hold on to that lead in LA, where the Dodgers are 45-15 this year at home.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Stepping into play for Texas, number 16, Scott Heineman.
Scott Heineman, fly to right, his only time up. Let's see. Well, they've gone to the 9th. It's still 1-0 St. Louis over the Dodgers.
That's where the walk-offs happen there, though. In that place, they had like a weekend of them not too long ago.
A.J. Cole, first pitch strike to Heineman. Greg Allen really shading Heineman over toward right center field. And Franmil Reyes, he's way over toward the line and right, almost playing Heineman as though he were a left-handed dead pull hitter. Off-speed pitch, a slider in for strike 2-2. Scott Heineman played 4 years for the Ducks at the University of Oregon. Seems rare anymore for guys to play all 4 years in college. Runner goes. Pitch is hit up the middle. Kipnis is on the bag. He gets the force and completes the double play to end the inning. He had trouble with it, but he stayed right with it, grabbed the ball just before Calhoun arrived to get the force there, and then on to first for the double play.
Two home runs tonight. I'd like to see a hat trick. I don't know about you.
Goldschmidt, high drive, out to left. You bet he's done it! 3 home runs!
And they're going to wave him around. The throw misses a cutoff man. Shoulder to the plate. And the play. Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Here's a ground ball right side. Could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history. And building to this moment, world champions.
Well, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside.
That was Curtis Jackson. I don't even like when he comes around. I don't even want him around here. 50 Cent is the best.
That's number 30. Roll this one away. Come close again. Are you kidding me? Those aren't just home runs. Those are boom shots.
Seattle Mariners, Felix Hernandez, the 2-2. He got him! It's finally happened! A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner! It was done by the King!
Robinson Cano in his Mets debut. Sox one out to center. Back goes Robles into the gap to the warning track at the wall, and it's out of here. Robinson Cano goes deep.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Greg Allen will lead it off. He let out the 3rd with a base hit. The Indians would load the bases in the 3rd, but unable to add to their 1-0 lead. Lance Lynn, 14 wins on the year. So there's still a chance that he could get to 20 wins on the season. And if he were to accomplish that, he would join a very, very small fraternity in Texas Rangers history. They only have 3 20-game winners in franchise history. Fergie Jenkins was the first to do it in 1974, won 25 games.
Yeah.
Kevin Brown was the next to do it in 1992. He won 21 games. And Rick Helling, the last to do it in 1998, won an even 20.
Oh, look at Allen.
Perfectly placed for the 2nd time today by Greg Allen.
No doubt, right up the middle, and that's 2 for 2 for Greg. I mean, this ball not hit all that hard, but the placement is just beautiful. So he'll lead off another inning, the 5th inning now. Leadoff man aboard. He did it back in the 3rd, and he was caught stealing in that inning. And that's when you talked about loading the bases and having an opportunity. That's when Lynn walked 3 hitters in that inning after Greg got thrown out at 2nd.
Kevin Plawecki steps in. 3rd baseman Connor Falefa in on the grass at 3rd. And Plawecki swings through a good fastball. Right back with the heater. And it's 0-2.
that didn't take long.
2 fastballs and a well-placed cutter. 7th strikeout for Lance Lynn. Well, it gets interesting tomorrow. The Indians will be in Minneapolis at Target Field. 4-game series begins. Mike Clevenger, Kyle Gibson, the matchup in a dandy. And our coverage begins at 7:30 with Indians Live right here on Sports Time Ohio, and you can stream it on Fox Sports Go. If you joined us late, Twins lost at home earlier to the Braves. If the Indians can win here, they would close the deficit to 2 games in the standings. Lindor takes a fastball outside. That's the updated look at how things stand in the Central. Tribe on top 1-0, but a lot of baseball to go here. A weak ground ball to second. There's one. Back to first. Good play. 5 complete. 1-0 Cleveland.
Ichiro to right and deep. Back goes Parra, and it's off the wall. 3,000 is in right field, and Ichiro is racing for third. And he's done it.
2 on, 2 out. 10th inning. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher. Throw by Ethier. Astros win it in time.
And he swings and drives one left center field deep. Hernandez back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run. Steve Pearce.
High fly ball into left. Back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce?
2-0 pitch. Swinging. There it is. Here comes Ausmus. The start and tie. Bigfoot to make it a double. He didn't get the trademark, but he did get 3,000 hits.
Looking for hit number 1 from Franchy Cordero.
He struck him out. The Dodgers have thrown a combined no-hitter.
And on the 13th and final strikeout of the game.
Malone looking for his first hit of the year.
He drives one. Deep left field. That goes Upton. Back near the wall. It's out of here. Bartolo has done it. The impossible has happened.
Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. There it is, the only run of the game. A solo homer by Jose Ramirez in the 2nd inning, his 16th of the season. Meanwhile, Tyler Clippard started, went 2 scoreless innings. Hunter Wood relieved, he went 2 one-hit scoreless innings. A.J. Cole worked a scoreless 5th. And now stays on to start the 6th. Did that guy just make that catch?
Yes, he did. Left-handed. And it was on the backhanded side. Got that Rangers jersey on, but a beautiful play, my friend. Watch him. Backhanded side, reaches up and saves somebody right there. Great catch.
Thanks, I do this all the time. By Ramirez and Lindor in the left field, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Leadoff single.
2nd straight inning that Texas has been able to get their leadoff man aboard. Make that the 3rd straight. I'm sorry. They did the same back in the 4th with Chu with his single. So all 3 hits have been leading off an inning.
Well, Jeff Mathis had ground out his only time up. Slider, swing and a miss. Jeff Mathis, the veteran catcher. Squares and bunts it back foul.
I want to send along our congratulations and a happy retirement to Ginny Zalewski of North Canton. Enjoy your retirement. Have fun.
Despite the struggles of Jeff Mathis this year, he does have a hit in 4 of his last 5 games, going 6 for 17 in those last 5 games. 0-2 pitch. Grounded right to third. Ramirez backing up, goes to second. There's one on the first. Double play. Kipnis got taken out on a good hard slide by Kiner Falefa at second, but he hung in there to complete the throw, and it was a perfect strike to Santana as the Indians go around the horn to turn 2.
Yeah, that was nicely done. 5-4-3 and get it out of the way. Back-to-back innings where they've been able to turn the double play, and nicely done. You stayed on the bag. You don't have to worry about that guy coming off the backside of that bag. You can stay on the back end of it, make your throw across like he did, an accurate throw, and get the double play.
Second straight inning, the Indians have been able to turn 2. And Shin-Soo Choo with a base hit his last time up. His only hit in the series. Got the fastball by him. And it's 1-2. Two fouls off the fastball. And the 1-2 from A.J. Cole is in the dirt. The Indians beat Texas 2-0 earlier today, stopping a Texas 5-game win streak. Swung out and missed. Down goes Choo. A.J. Cole. 2 scoreless innings of relief, and the beat goes on for the Indians here today.
Fastball. In the air, right center field. The first one in the Phillies uniform is a bomb into the second deck for Bryce Harper. The Phils lead it 7-4.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. The second no-hitter in his young career.
Cespedes on the move. He's not going to get it. And it rolls off the side wall, and they're going to wave home Kendrick. The throw to the plate is there.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
they got it. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Now a 3-1 for Acuna. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep to left field. Way, way back. It's gone! The grandest of all home runs.
Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3, it's over. The Red Sox have won the World Championship. They win the World Series 4-1. Can you believe it?
Out on the run is Liriano, and he makes the catch. An amazing catch. Sails the throw back to first base, and this is in time on the fly from Ramon Liriano.
Rivera sets and deals. Strike three, ball game over. Yankees win, the greatest closer in history. Now,
Tyler Naquin heading to the plate to start the home half of the 6th, with the Indians leading it by the slimmest of margins, 1-0. Out of play to the left. Tyler Naquin struck out in the first, fly to left in the third. And he drives one. Deep right field. Back goes Mazara onto the track and just shy of the wall. He pulls it down for out number 2. Or excuse me, out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Naquin batting in that 2-hole today. Almost added to the lead. And we'll get a word here from Noco.
start dead batteries with Noco.
Carlos Santana struck out on the first, walked in the third.
Both teams with just 3 hits on the day. Allen has 2 of them, singles, and then the big one. Ramirez has the home run for the Indians, a difference in the game.
You know, Matt, it's funny you mentioned Naquin batting second. Before the first game, Tito told me he was going to try to use the DH and give Mike Freeman the second game to play. He was either going to DH Jose or Lindor. As you can see, that didn't go over well.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that, you know, these guys all have places where they like to hit, where they start to feel comfortable. And I don't know that it's so much of it is a sort of a level of where you're at as a hitter. Like, you know, don't drop me down on the lineup, Skipper. I want to hit.
Right.
You know, don't put me down at the bottom of the lineup. As they take that as sort of an affront. But yeah, look, guys, they feel like they can be productive in certain spots in the order. They want to stay there.
I don't get that. I don't. Well, I really don't know what difference it makes what you hit in the lineup. To be honest with you,
every guy
You're
has
kidding
their
me. When
thing,
you were a
though.
kid, you
know
didn't
that,
want to bat. You wouldn't have been mad if you were batting 7th, 8th, or 9th.
A kid. We're talking big league hitters. We're not talking kids.
That doesn't change.
Yeah, it does. I think it does.
These are big kids.
The 3-1 pitch. Hammered. Deep right, but Mazara standing right there to grab it. 2 away, so a couple of wild outs here in the 6th.
Yeah, they've been able to catch up to that fastball. 2 balls hit right on the nose, but 2 outs. And with Puig coming up, he's had Puig's number today, the first 2 at bats.
Pulled off that badly, 0-1.
Yeah, started them off breaking ball this time after the last time throwing the 2 fastballs by him to get ahead early.
And looks at a fastball right on the outside corner. And Puig in the hole 0-2. Puig just got drilled by a fastball from Lance Lynn. So the Indians have a 2-out base runner. And that's going to bring up Jose Ramirez, who powered the Indians to a 2-0 win in the first game of the doubleheader with a 2-run homer, and gave them their only run here this afternoon with a solo shot in the second.
I don't know if I've ever seen somebody, one guy, do the damage in 2 games, the doubleheader, or of a doubleheader. But as we stand right now, you'd certainly like to see another insurance run or 2 put on the board if you can. And Lynn right there, I think, tried to go inside with that little 2-seamer to back him off the plate like he did in this last at-bat, but he hit Puig.
Fastball at the knees, outside corner.
Lynn looking for his 19th consecutive start of going at least 6 innings with 1 more out. They have not had anybody up getting loose or even throwing a baseball in their bullpen.
There goes Puig. Well, he started and then stopped, started again and stopped again. He was trying to time him up, couldn't quite get it down pat. Grounded foul, and now he'll be off on a 3-2 pitch. Well, it happened in the bottom of the 9th. Dodgers walked off the Cardinals.
Did they?
A 2-run single by Russ Martin.
Oh, man, at home, they're unbelievable.
Puig will be off. He runs, and the 3-2 bounce to first. It's fair. Inning over. We play on now. 2-7. Still Cleveland 1. Rangers nothing.
Pitch. Swinging. There it is. Here comes Ausmus. The started tied. Mitch went to make it a double. He didn't get the trademark, but he did get 3,000 hits.
Seattle Mariners, Felix Hernandez, the 2-2. He got him! It's finally happened! A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner! It was done by the King!
The fans are on their feet. Now the only man in between Paxton and the history books, a former American League MVP, Josh Donaldson. To Seager, the pick, the throw, Paxton has done it! It's a no-hitter!
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome. Welcome to the 600 Club.
Very nice, Jim Thome.
And he swings and drives one left center field deep. Hernandez back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run, Steve Pearce.
High fly ball into left. Back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce?
Line drive.
Back up the middle, base hit for Christian Yelich. Deep down the right field line and gone!
And Yelich comes through again.
It's a cycle for Christian Yelich.
Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Well, 1-0 Cleveland on top, 7th inning. A.J. Cole, who has worked two hit scoreless innings, staying on to pitch a 3rd inning of relief, or at least start this 3rd inning. And a big reason for that, he's only made 18 pitches coming into this 7th inning.
And he's given up 2 hits, but been able to get the double play in each inning.
Got Oliver Perez up in the bullpen, assuming he'll be on to face Mazara, who's due up 3rd here in the 7th. Struck him out. Danny Santana goes down hacking. 2nd strikeout for A.J. Cole. Tia, give it everything. Entering today, the Cleveland Indians leading the majors in bullpen earned run average.
By about a half a run, when you think about it. That's incredible. If you look at those bullpens there, they choose to go with the bullpen in game number 2, and it certainly has paid off to this point.
Elvis Andrus looks at a ball down low, 1-1. Andrus 3 for 6 coming into today in the series. As you check out Oliver Perez getting loose. He's ready. I mean, in a lot of ways, this could not have worked out much better for Terry Francona and Carl Willis as far as piecing this together, because when you got to the 5th inning, A.J. Cole went out and got through those 2 innings so quickly, they didn't have to worry about getting anybody else up.
That's true.
So now you've got the full complement of relievers available. Other than, I don't know what he does with Brad Hand. I mean, he got the strikeout. He struck out the side to get the save earlier today.
I think he'd be ready to go. You get a chance to win this game, you got to get it. You've got to win this game.
As they say in baseball, worry about tomorrow.
That's absolutely right. You got a chance to take 2 in one day, you do it.
The 1-2. Almost chased, did not go. Murph says it was 13 pitches for Brad Hand in game 1. The 2-2. Just off the outside corner. Goody was the guy that would not be available, I wouldn't imagine.
Right.
High drive, left field. Back goes Naquin. He has room, backpedaling, and pulls it down 2 away. Goody threw over 30 pitches in his
so he'd be shut down for this game. Absolutely.
Well, here comes Tito. As we surmise, with the left-handed hitters in the Texas lineup, he's going to go to Oliver Perez.
Isn't that rare, though? I mean, it's the first time we've seen him in this game. It's the bottom of the top of the 7th with 2 outs before he has to come to the mound with a bullpen game.
Terrific job by Clippard, Wood, and Cole. And now they'll turn it over to Oliver Perez when we come back.
Pitch on the way.
for hit number 1 from Franchy Cordero.
He struck him out. The Dodgers have thrown a combined no-hitter.
And on the 13th and final strikeout of the game.
And the pitch on the way. Bodie drives one in the air. Deep center field. Back goes Taylor. It's got a chance. It's a grand slam. A grand slam for David Bodie. And the Cubs have won the ball game.
Cespedes on the move. He's not going to get it. And it rolls off the side wall, and they're going to wave home Kendrick. The throw to the plate is there. And they got it. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Robinson Cano in his Mets debut. Sox one out to center. Back goes Robles into the gap to the warning track at the wall. And it's out of here. Robinson Cano goes deep in his first at bat as a New York Met.
Race the sunset along Cleveland's scenic Lake Erie shore during the Sunset Sprint 5K presented by Gebauer's Instant Ice. This run kicks off a full weekend at Edgewater Park starting Friday at 6:30 p.m. Register now at clevelandsports.org/Sunset Sprint. Left-hander Oliver Perez on to pitch for the Tribe, making his 46th appearance of the year. 2 down, he has Nomar Mazara coming to the plate. This is one area where Mazara has had his troubles this year. Against left-handed pitching, his on-base percentage is just .236.
Perez comes out and throws a couple of darts. He's ahead in the count now, 0-2, which the Indians have done. Their pitching staff in the doubleheader today have been wonderful. 0-2, 1-2 counts.
Pulls that foul. The 0-2 turns his back for a moment to the hitter, and he struck him out. Oliver Perez whiffs Mazara to end the inning. Stretch time in Cleveland. 1-0 Indians.
That's number 30. Where will this one land? Come close again. Are you kidding me? Those aren't just home runs. Those are boom shots.
Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3, it's over. The Red Sox have won the World Championship. They win the World Series, 4 games to 1. Can you believe it?
In the air to deep left field for Tatis Jr. His first home run in the majors is a 2-run blast. There's contact, and then there's that. 9:49 now in Atlanta, 6:49 in Arizona, and a 2-2 to Perez. Swing and a miss, and Randy Johnson has thrown a perfect game.
1-0 looking for a fastball.
In the air, right center field. The first one in the Phillies uniform is a bomb into the second deck for Bryce Harper. The Phils lead it 7-4. And they're going to wave him around. The throw misses a cutoff man. Shoulder to the plate. And the play, Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Fly ball out into center. Way out of here.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Indians with a 1-0 lead. Lance Lynn has given up 1 run, a solo homer to Jose Ramirez in the 2nd inning. Jason Kipnis takes a strike. He has struck out twice today.
Well, Lynn right around the 60% strike. He just went over the 100 pitch mark. It's still in control.
Crunched. Right center. That's in the gap. That'll go to the wall. And Kip on his way to second base. He'll go in easily with a leadoff double. That's double number 17 for Kipnis.
Cut fastball. That's what it is. And he left it down middle of the plate. And Jason hit it right on the nose, boy. He smoked it into the alley in right center field. There's your leadoff double. There's an insurance run out there. If the Indians can get him over and get him in. Love to have it here in the 7th inning.
Big man Franmil Reyes, 0 for 2 today. On a play, right side. In off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. You see Lynn over 100 pitches. Right-hander Jesse Chavez up in the Texas bullpen. It gets off the glove of Mathis to the backstop. It goes, and Kipnis down to 3rd.
And did you see the look on Lynn's face? That's a pass ball. I mean, that's a big play right there. He was trying to stop Reyes from maybe hitting the ball to the right side. And he just whiffed on this ball right off the end of the glove, man. Right off the end. And the look on Lynn's face was, oh my gosh, watch him. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a ball that you can't let get by you if you're Mathis there. Now the infield comes in. There's nobody out, and a really good chance now for the Indians.
.95-mile-an-hour fastball. Reyes swings through it. And it's 2-2. Up high. Able way off that time.
Well, straighten him up. That's what he's done to the right-handers when he gets the 2 strikes to back him up a little bit. Now, does he want to go back in there and double up on that pitch or try and go something away? We are going to find out.
Elevated fastball, it looks like. High and deep enough.
Sure would think so.
Mazara makes the catch. Kipnis tags. He's coming home, and the throw nowhere near in time. 2-0 Cleveland. Reyes with RBI number 48 on the season.
Boy, how big is that fastball there? Nice job. Reyes gets the job done.
Second RBI for Reyes as a member of the Indians, and that's a key one there. Any run you can get to add to lead the game this close, this late, ultimately very important. Now Greg Allen. Greg Allen is 2 for 2, and they've decided to try to squeeze off that hole he's been hitting him through.
Exactly. They're going to really put Andrus over on the right side of the infield, unlike his first 2 at-bats, so they have to make an adjustment.
Right where Andrus is stationed, or maybe a step to his right, is where both of Greg Allen's bouncing balls have gone through today. .95 miles an hour. He pumps it by him. It's his 8th strikeout of the game. 2 down here in the inning. And that's going to bring up Kevin Plawecki. And we'll get a word from Cleveland Clinic.
Cleveland Clinic. Get the care you need when and where you need it. Visit clevelandclinic.org/access.
Plawecki, swing and a miss. He walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. High pop foul. That's going to go out of play to the right. Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hammered deep left field, down the line, and it just hooked foul in front of the pole. Boy, did he crush that ball. But KP, he had a pretty good feel right off the bat it wasn't going to stay, because he never really left home plate area. But it was close.
Yes, it was very close. It started out well in fair territory, but with being so far out in front of it, it had a little hook to it.
He's getting some good hacks in against Lynn. And there's the big right-hander nears the finish line. He is 1 pitch away from equaling the season high, which he's, no, I'm sorry, he got the 120 against Seattle back on May 21st. 2 other times he's gone 118 pitches, which he just made right there.
Like we said, he's a horse. He can go out there. He's going to take it deep into a game.
His career high is 126 pitches, but that was 5 years ago. Kind of get the feeling this is his last hitter.
Yes, no question.
You can tell, I mean, he's held his composure together, but that pass ball's got to be.
It crushed him.
Just under his skin.
Yeah, he wanted to take this game and keep it a 1-0 game.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Odor. And that'll do it. We'll move to the 8th. It's now Cleveland 2, Texas 0.
he's just keeping the ball away from Bohr the whole game. He wants to get it.
There, ball behind the back flip, and he got him. Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
2-0 pitch. Swinging. There it is. Here comes Ausmus. The start and tied. Mitch went to make it a double. He didn't get the trademark, but he did get 3,000 hits.
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome. Welcome to the 600 Club. Very nice, Jim Thome.
Looking for hit number 1 from Franchy Cordero.
He struck him out. The Dodgers have thrown a combined no-hitter.
And on the 13th and final strikeout of the game.
2 on, 2 out. Ken Bennett. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher. Throw by Ethier. Astros win it. In time. Muncy flies one in the air to left center. Back at the wall, and it's gone. It's over. A walk-off home.
On game 1 of the doubleheader today, 2-0 over the Rangers. Right now trying to do the trick again here in game number 2, 8th inning. Welcome back to center field alongside Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Well, pitching has really been the story today, especially for the Tribe. Great bullpen game thus far for the Indians.
Been manageable, too. Now, considering you can finish it off in regulation here, you got yourself set up beautifully to start that big series tomorrow night in Minneapolis.
Join us after the game. Plenty to talk about on Indians Live. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. For now, let's go back upstairs. Here are Matt and Rick.
All right, thanks, Al. Willie Calhoun, Rougned Odor, and then Scott Heineman due up for the Rangers here in the 8th. Greg Allen goes from center field to left. Tyler Naquin goes from left to right. And Oscar Mercado takes over in center field. He'll be in the spot of Franmil Reyes in the batting order. Oliver Perez, a first pitch strike. Nick Whitgren up in the Tribe pen. Driven to deep right field, and that baby is gone, a home run.
How was that run looking now?
Willie Calhoun with his 9th home run of the year. Cuts the Indians' lead in half at 2-1.
First run of the day. And he hung him a breaking ball and he smoked it. There it is right there, the slow spinner. Got a little too much of the plate, and that's going to find the seat. So it's now a 2-1 game, both teams with 4 hits. And this will probably be the last hitter for Perez.
Rougned Odor pops one back out of play. Odor 0 for 2 has struck out, popped up.
Heads up, guys. I couldn't reach it. Sorry, I tried.
Now the 0-1. And he powered a fastball in there. Odor might not have been looking for it. He might have been sitting on that breaking ball again. Say this for Oliver Perez: 8 pitches, 8 strikes. Slowed it down and struck him out. So Oliver Perez faces 3 left-handed hitters, strikes 2 of them out, but Willie Calhoun takes him deep to cut the deficit for the Rangers to 2-1. And that's going to be it for Oliver Perez. Tito's going to go back to the bullpen. Nick Whitgren coming on when we come back.
the year.
He drives one, deep left field. That goes Upton, back near the wall. It's out of here! Bartolo has done it! The impossible has happened!
Line drive, back up the middle, base hit for Christian Yelich.
Deep down the right field line and gone!
And Yelich comes through again.
It's a cycle for Christian Yelich.
And he swings and drives one left center field deep. Hernandez back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run, Steve Pearce.
High fly ball into left, back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce?
Now a 3-1 for Acuna. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep to left field. Way back. It's gone! The grandest of all home runs.
And they're going to wave him around. The throw misses a cutoff man. Shoulder to the plate. And the play. Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop.
This one's hit a long way again. That's number 30. Where will this one land? Come close again. Are you kidding me? Those aren't just home runs. Those are moonshots.
Ichiro to right, and
our showstopper comes from a place some know as Chavez Ravine. This year it's known as Walk-Off West. That's the 10th walk-off win of the year for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Russell Martin bangs a single up the middle, and they get 2. How about they're shut out for 8 innings, and they get 2 in the bottom of the ninth to win it.
That's just the kind of year they're having at their home ballpark, man. 10 walk-offs for the Dodgers this year is unbelievable.
Nick Whitgren is the new pitcher for Cleveland with 1 out and the base is empty. And the Indians nursing a 1-run lead. Scott Heineman, the batter, 0 for 2. Out of play, right side. Now the 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. Back in 2016, the Indians had 11 walk-off wins for the entire year. Dodgers still have, where they have probably 20,
40 some games to go. You mean
at home?
Oh, I would think, yeah, 20, right around there. I'll let you know.
In the dirt.
$20 more games.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Whitgren misses down and away. Full count. Hunter Pence has moved to the odd deck circle to bat for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Center field. And Mercado just into the game will make the catch. 2 down. And so that'll bring up Hunter Pence.
Is number 24, Hunter Pence.
You know, Pence is an interesting story just because he signed a minor league deal with the Rangers in the offseason. At 36 years old, you understand kind of that situation. It's not really a a risk for the team. If the guy's got anything left in the tank, you load up the deal with incentives. It's a $2 million deal because he wants to keep playing. And obviously there's a lot still left in the tank with what he's shown this year. Had to deal with the injury, which set him back some. But
well, it was his first game in Progressive Field was today. Even though he made the All-Star team, he couldn't play because of the injury. And it was here in Target Field where the only two ballparks, and he's homered in parks that aren't even around anymore in his career. But here in Target Field where he hasn't hit a homer.
Yeah, even with interleague play, Astros, Giants, Phillies, that's where he spent his whole career. You just don't get a chance. Can't remember seeing him play hardly at all.
Yeah. Well, not in this ballpark he didn't.
In San Fran, I think we saw him. But here is the 1-2 pitch. Threw the bat at it. Kipnis on the big hop. Buries the throw in. Gets his man. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 Cleveland.
Yelich knocks one to the gap in right center. This could be the one. He's going to be held to a double. He's trying for 3. He's going to do it. Get down. He's in there.
1-0 looking for a fastball.
In the air, right center field. The first one in the Phillies uniform is a bomb into the second deck for Bryce Harper. The Phils lead it 7-4.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. The second no-hitter in his young career.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a hard hit ball inside third, base hit down the left field line. Mazzara gets to third. Adrian going to second. He's got a double for 3,000.
Well, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside.
That was Curtis Jackson. I don't even like when he comes around. I don't even want him around here. 50 Cent is the best.
Center. Way out of here.
Oh, Mago, my goodness.
Rivera sets and deals. Strike 3, ball game over. Yankees win, the greatest closer in history. Now.
Tribe and the Red Sox wrap up their 3-game series next Wednesday afternoon, and 10,000 fans will receive a beach bag courtesy of Meijer. Pick up a district ticket presented by Miller Lite starting at $15. Visit Indians.com for tickets. That's 1 week from today. Yeah, as Rick mentioned earlier, it's going to be an odd schedule for the next month or so for the Indians. They'll head out of town. 4-game series at Minnesota over the weekend, back home for 3, then back out immediately after that for a week to New York to play the Yankees and the Mets. Come home for another series, right back out on the road again, and so it goes. Top of the order for the Indians with the new pitcher Jesse Chavez on the hill, and Lindor broke his bat on the first swing.
Yep, closes the book on Lance Lynn. 7 innings, 4 hits, couple of runs, walked 3, struck out 8. Had a wild pitch. The pass ball is what cost him, and he allowed the solo home run to Jose Ramirez. So this has been low scoring every game in the series. 1-0, 2-0, now 2-1.
Lindor ropes one down the right field line into the corner. It goes. Frankie's off to the races. He'll make it easily into second base with a leadoff double. Indians' second straight inning. They've gotten a leadoff double. Kipnis doubled to start the 7th and scored.
Watch him
this
move.
time Lindor does it.
Watch him move up. You see he moved up again before. Well, Chavez was in his. See, he turned around and he told somebody he was going to do it. First, when he broke his bat, he fouled it off because he wasn't throwing hard enough for him, I guess. So what he did, he started back, stepped up maybe 6 inches, ended up drilling the ball, keeping it fair. Leadoff double for Lindor. That'll be his 25th double of the year.
And the batter is Tyler Naquin, 0 for 3 today. Flied to deep right his last time up. Try to get Lindor over to third.
This is a guy I think he could pull.
Takes a pitch for a strike.
Leclerc in game 1, he moved the runner with the leadoff double. People were upset he gave up an out, but he did a good job because he moved him over for Kipnis, who has been hot, although they didn't get the run in. And he's not going to do it here. No, it's not.
Wow. That ended up being a heck of a play by Forsythe.
Well, you talk about, that's right at the end of the glove. He was lucky to hold on to that one. That was struggling all the way. You see him go up. And he says, I got it. Now watch it. You better keep your feet moving. And it comes back. He said he had it, and he got it. A little scary, but it's an out.
Carlos Santana 0 for 2. Struck out on the first, walked in the third, lined out to right in the 6th. Time called as Santana steps away. Ran it off the plate. 2-0 the count. Santana has been slow out of the gates since the All-Star break, but the last couple of games he's starting to reel it back in. Tops this one, 2-1. And that fastball off the dish. 3 balls and a strike. With Yasiel Puig waiting on deck. Chris Woodward's club. Tough to come in here and play much better, pitch much better anyway than they have against a hot hitting team like the Indians.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Santana drives one to deep right field. That'll get down one hop the wall. Scoring is Lindor. Santana into second with an RBI double. And it's 3-1 Cleveland as Santana has his 22nd double of the year and RBI number 64.
Well, there you go. Pick up your teammates, and Santana certainly does. He gets a pitch, and I didn't know if it looked like a changeup there. He's going to throw to him, and he stayed back enough. Drills it down the line, and he'll short hop the wall. That'll make it a 3-1 game. So they respond and they answer that one run that Texas put on the board in the top half of last inning. And still a chance to add on.
Yeah, especially with Yasiel Puig and Jose Ramirez to follow. 7 out of 10 pitches for Chavez have been strikes. And he now gets ahead of Puig 0-2. Outside. The 1-2 missed outside. Indians able to break through with a run in the 7th, another run here in the 8th.
Late scoring, always good. The Indians do a nice job of that 7th, 8th, 9th inning. You know,
their only runs earlier today were in the 7th inning.
Yeah, they do a nice job.
Check the swing, fouled it back. The Indians have outscored the opposition in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. The 2-2. I mean, some of that is just due to the fact that the pitching's been that good. When you take into consideration the starting pitchers and the job they've done, combine that with a bullpen that has the best ERA in the majors, it's easy to see how you have the run differential in your advantage in almost every inning.
Worked it to a full count now.
Jose Ramirez to follow. $24,888 the combined attendance for the doubleheader today. Those still around want to see some more offense. The payoff pitch smashed into left field. Santana coming around third. Sarball waves him home. Calhoun's throw is cut off. They'll throw to second. And Puig runs himself into the second out of the inning. But the Indians add another run as Puig gets his 64th RBI on the year. And it's now a 4-1 Indians lead.
Well, he got the base hit. Santana was going to score easily, but Puig just continued to run. I mean, he could round the base. They weren't going to get Santana at home plate. And then he just gives up before second base and lets him tag him. He should have stayed at first. Here comes Santana. Here comes the throw by Calhoun. Never gets there. Never would have been able to get there either. But they get the second out.
And Jose Ramirez to the plate. All day, just a monumental struggle for each team to get a hit with a runner in scoring position to get them home. The Indians get 2 here in the 8th inning. Jose Ramirez started the scoring with a home run in the second. His 2-run homer in game 1 of the doubleheader, the only runs of that game. ripped in the right field line. That's going to be extra bases for Jose. And he'll go in standing with the Indians' third double of the inning. And that might be it, as Chris Woodward looks like he's going to go make a pitching change. So Jesse Chavez didn't have it today, as the Indians handed it to him. He faces 5 batters, gives up 4 hits, 3 of them doubles. And we've got a timeout in the 8th with the Indians up 4-1.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history. And building to this moment, world champions.
Line drive, back up the middle, base hit for Christian Yelich. Deep down the right field line, and gone!
And Yelich comes through again.
It's a cycle for Christian Yelich.
That is absolutely clobbered. Good gosh, where is that going to land? Oh my, what a bomb! Testing the limits of Safeco Field.
Robinson Cano in his Mets debut. Sox one out to center. Back goes Robles into the gap to the warning track at the wall, and it's out of here! Robinson Cano goes deep in his first at bat as a New York Met.
Looking for hit number 1 from Franchy Cordero.
He struck him out! The Dodgers have thrown a combined no-hitter!
And on the 13th and final strikeout of the game.
And he swings and drives one left center field deep. Hernandez back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run, Steve Pearce.
High fly ball into left. Back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce?
Well, looking back at our Ford storylines, there was a story of Lance Lynn and Jose Ramirez, and Lance Lynn gave up 1 run to Jose Ramirez in the second inning, and then he didn't give up another run until the 7th, and that wasn't his fault. It was a pass ball by his catcher that cost him there. So he was up to the task, but the Indians just a little bit better.
Well, they've been able to add on late in the game. That's something that's always good. Lynn, Indians trying to beat him for the first time in their career and trying to win the series, their second series of the year, when they lose game 1 of a series. That's how important it is. They lost the first one here on Monday. Of course, we were rained out, and a chance to win the 2 games. That'll only be their second win this year of a series. They'll be 2-9-4 if they can hold on.
And to be able to do it when you had to come back and beat their best pitcher,
yeah,
that makes it impressive. Sean Kelly slows it down. Kipnis takes 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-2. Drilled to deep right field. Another double for the Indians. Kipnis on his way to second base. Scoring is Jose Ramirez. The 4th double of the frame for Cleveland. They've scored 3 times in the 8th. And they now take a 5-1 advantage. Boy, some of these doubles have been carbon copies.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. 4 in the this inning. And this one right here, out over the plate, 90 miles an hour. Like a little two-seamer there that Kip just turned on. His second consecutive double in this ball game. Indians with 5 in the game. That'll give Mercado a chance.
Oscar came on as a defensive replacement. Now gets a chance to hit, swings through it. This offense has been held under wraps by Texas, but finally breaking through here with a run in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. They take command of the game. They won earlier today thanks to the pitching staff and one swing of the bat from Jose Ramirez, 2-0. And now they're 3 outs away from closing the gap on Minnesota to just 2 games in the division. The 1-2 from Kelly is in the dirt. Mathis able to smother it. And the Rangers, they're in a fight to try and stay alive in the wild card race. I had to be happy to see Oakland get trounced earlier today. They're heading to Milwaukee after this for 3 games and then up to Toronto for 3 after that. So the Rangers schedule is a bit daunting. 3 in Milwaukee, 3 in Toronto, then they go home for 4 against Minnesota. The Rangers end the year at home with 3 against the Red Sox and 3 against the Yankees. That seems odd for a Western Division team to finish at home.
Closing out that stadium, closing out that ballpark. They'll be moving into a new facility next year.
Lifted, right field. Mazzara makes the catch. Well, the Indians explode for 3 in the 8th. Carlos Santana drives home the first with a double. Yasiel Puig gets 1 home, and Jason Kipnis does the same.
Well, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside.
That was Curtis Jackson. I don't even like when he comes around. I don't even want him around here. 50 Cent is the best.
Now a 3-1 for Acuna. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep to left field. Way back. It's gone! The grandest of all home runs.
Yelich knocks one to the gap in right center. This could be the one. He's going to be held to a double. He's trying for 3. He's going to do it. Get down. He's in there.
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome. Welcome to the 600 Club. Very nice, Jim Thome.
2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Verlander has done it again. The second no-hitter in his young career.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a hard hit ball inside third, base hit down the left field line. Mazzara gets to third. Adrian going to second. He's got a double for.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Ninth inning here in Cleveland. Indians now up 5-1. Nick Whitgren, who got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning, stays on to pitch the 9th. Trying to nail down his 3rd save of the season. A.J. Cole, the pitcher of record, looking for his 3rd win. Jeff Mathis will be lifted for a pinch hitter, as Delino DeShields will bat for Texas.
When you're coming out and you're going up against a team's best starter and you're going bullpen game, which the Indians rarely do, it has been a great game for Tito. He's got to be proud of the way those guys came out and pitched. Him, Carl Willis. Been a very good afternoon.
Yeah, and he took a fastball for a called 3rd strike. Time to take a look at our Pat O'Brien play of the game. 7th inning. Jason Kitten has led it off with a double. And then the key play really of the game was right here. Whoopsie.
One that Mathis just couldn't hold on to. Went off the end of the glove, moved him up, and Reyes comes back and hits a sacrifice fly. That made it a 2-0 game, although they came back and homered.
Fly ball left field, Greg Allen. 2 away. And a strike called. Danny Santana's had a tough series, and he swings and misses. It's 0-2. He came in one of the hottest hitters in the league, and the Indians have held him to 1 for 11 with 6 strikeouts. Line to left center field. That's in the gap. And Mercado! Oh, what a play to end the game. A diving catch in left center field. And that'll put a big ribbon on this one as the Indians take the series, sweeping the doubleheader today by a final score of 5-1. They won earlier 2-0. And the Indians will roll into Minneapolis with a record of 68-46 and just 2 games behind the division-leading Twins. A.J. Cole is the winner. He goes to 3-1. Nick Whitgren gets the save. It's his 3rd, and the loss will go to Lance Lynn, who is now 14-7 on the year. Take another look at the effort by Oscar Mercado.
Well, I saw that ball splitting the gap all the way. It didn't look like he was going to catch up to it, but boy, going all out, making the dive, making the catch. And a beautiful way to end a great day here in Cleveland. The doubleheader sweep. Whitgren thrilled. Indians are happy. 2 games behind the Minnesota Twins. What a weekend this should be.
5-1 is the final. And after 6 hours of baseball, we'll be back with some final thoughts right after this.